Every so often, a company emerges that doesn't just change the market, it changes our relationship with technology itself. OpenAI is one of those companies. And this is the story of how its calculated rise led to a technology that completely captured the world's attention. At the very heart of OpenAI is a single, powerful mission statement: to ensure artificial intelligence benefits all of humanity. Now, this wasn't just a feel-good slogan, it was a core strategic decision. Right from the start, this single idea set OpenAI apart from the typical profit-driven model you see all over Silicon Valley. So let's go back to 2015. A group of some of the biggest names in tech and investing got together. But their goal wasn't to create the next viral app. No, they had something much bigger in mind. They wanted to build a completely new kind of organization, one designed specifically to solve what might be the most important technological puzzle of our generation. And this is a really key point. OpenAI started its life as a research lab, not a typical startup. That structure was completely intentional. The idea was to focus on the slow, methodical work of building safe and powerful AI without the pressure of having to chase quarterly profits. This gave them the freedom to focus on deep, foundational research, insulated from the usual market demands. And so began what you might call the quiet years. For several years, the work was happening almost entirely behind the scenes. Progress was steady, but it wasn't making headlines. Inside the lab, teams were making these critical breakthroughs in machine learning, basically the science of how computers learn from data. They were building huge neural networks, incredibly complex systems that are sort of modeled after the human brain. All of this painstaking work was laying a kind of invisible foundation for what was about to come. But as the research got more and more advanced, a really fundamental question started to surface within the organization's leadership. Was research alone really going to be enough? The conclusion they came to was no. Research in a vacuum, completely isolated from the real world, just wasn't going to cut it. To truly understand what these AI models could do, and maybe more importantly, what they couldn't do, they needed real-world feedback from actual people. That interaction was absolutely essential for making the technology better and for making it safer. This realization marked a major strategic pivot. It led directly to the development of the generative pre-trained transformer models, what we all now know as GPT. Put simply, these were AI systems that had been pre-trained on just a massive amount of text from the internet. They learned patterns, they learned context, they learned nuance, and with each new version, from GPT-2 all the way to GPT-4, the models took a huge leap forward in their ability to generate text that felt, well, almost human. And then came the moment that changed everything. OpenAI made a critical decision to take this incredibly powerful core technology and wrap it in a simple, public-facing interface, a tool that would let anyone, anywhere, interact with their advanced AI. The response was, well, it was explosive. The tool was called ChatGPT, and it hit 1 million users in just 5 days. Now, to put that in perspective, that's a rate of adoption that just completely blows past the launches of giants like Netflix or Instagram. This wasn't just viral, it was a phenomenon on a scale nobody had ever really seen before. And almost overnight, ChatGPT went from being this interesting novelty to an actual utility. You had students using it for help with essays, programmers using it to write code, marketers using it to create content. It started to weave itself into daily workflows in industries all over the world, really proving the incredible practical power of AI when it's made accessible. This didn't just impact users, though. The effect on the entire tech industry was seismic. The success of ChatGPT was a wake-up call. It forced every other major tech company to stop, look at their own AI strategy, and, in many cases, scramble to catch up. A new, high-stakes race had just begun. Now, to power this kind of exponential growth, you need two things: a lot of money and a staggering amount of computing power. And that's where Microsoft came in. OpenAI formed a multi-billion-dollar strategic partnership with them. This alliance was absolutely vital. It gave them the funding they needed for research, yes, but just as importantly, it gave them access to Microsoft's Azure cloud platform, the sheer computational horsepower you need to build and run these massive AI models for the entire world. That partnership really cemented OpenAI's place as a leader in the field, and that, in turn, prompted a massive reaction. Competitors like Google, who had been doing their own very advanced AI research for years, were suddenly forced to move much, much faster to get their own products out the door. The race for AI dominance was now officially on. So this brings us to today's landscape. OpenAI is now facing a two-sided challenge. On one hand, they have to keep innovating at an incredible speed just to stay ahead. And on the other, they have to navigate all of the complex safety and ethical issues that come with creating technology this powerful. In a very real sense, the future of AI is being written right now, day by day. When you look at the whole picture, the story of OpenAI isn't just about a single company or a single product. It's really the story of a catalyst, a technological force that has fundamentally changed the relationship between people and machines. So the question we're all left with is no longer if AI is going to change our world. The real question is, how will we choose to write the next chapter?
This is CorpFile, inside the world of big brands. Subscribe to explore the real stories behind the companies that shape our world.